The panel is titled From Small to Medium, the Need for Digital Transformation. In this session, the panelists will discuss how investing in a digital can change a small and medium business just as much as any large business. And for this session, we would like to invite Anuj Batra, co-founder Andromeida, Vedant Kanoi, co-founder and CEO Food Cloud, Siddharth Manvati, co-founder and CEO Meat, Ramesh Bisht, co-founder and CEO Ramsun Network, Amit Kumar, founder and CEO MSMEx, Akshay Hegde, co-founder ShakeDeal, and Amar Shankar, partner EY, who will also be moderating this session. Let's welcome our panel.
Thank you very much, and I know that we are between you and lunch, so thanks for your patience. But I think it's an interesting topic, right? Small to medium. But before I dive into it, I'd really like if we can do a quick round of introduction, a little bit what you would want to, your opening thoughts.
Hi everyone, my name is Amit Kumar. I am founder and CEO of MSMEx. We are one of the India's largest live online coaching, mentoring and hand-holding platform for MSMEs. We help MSMEs in their business growth. Thanks.
My name is Anuj Batra. I bring around 30 odd years of experience of professional life. For the last 5 odd years, I'm coaching out startups. I have one of my own startups also where we are making underwater robots. And one thing, I'm not an engineer. I'm guiding around 183 student-led startups who are all engineers. Thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Siddharth. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Meat. We are developing ethical and sustainable solutions for the meat industry. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Ramesh Bisht. I am co-founder and CEO of Ramsun Network. So we facilitate a digital platform where we connect large corporate with the pool of lenders and thereby enable supply chain financing to the MSME ecosystem, which may be vendor or the dealer to them.
Hi everyone, I am Akshay Hegde, the founder and managing director of ShakeDeal, India's leading B2B commerce and supply chain platform that's procurement focused. So we deal with various categories of spend, and we try to solve the problem that indirect procurement, which has a long tail of items or categories, we try to streamline that for large enterprises and various SMEs.
Hi, I'm Vedant Kanoi, the founder and CEO of Food Cloud. Food Cloud is a marketplace for homemade food. So we have fresh food and a D2C part, and we have over 5,000 women registered with us to start a business from their own home.
Thanks. My name is Amar Shankar, and I'm a partner with Ernst & Young, and I lead the business consulting practice, which specifically focuses on helping governments in improving, the ecosystem for MSMEs. So I'm going to straight jump in. I know we have limited time, so it's going to be I'll try to do it as a rapid fire, but please feel free to add to whatever I asked the question to. So, Amit, the topic, can digital transformation really transform, small to medium? That's the key question.
So, the straightforward answer is yes, but let's understand the fundamental. I often interact with the MSMEs and the digital product builders, and I say that they're not on the same page. So one side there are MSMEs which are underestimating the power of digital transformation. Other side there are digital product builders who overestimate that power and they don't come in sync. Now, why I say that, a very basic question which I hear from a lot of MSMEs, that Amit, Zoho से digital transformation होगा या Razor पे से? Very naive question, a genuine question, and we need to address such things, which means before digital transformation for the right set of MSMEs, we need mind transformation. First, they need to understand that what is this digital transformation, how this can impact, and this is not one piece. This is a thread across the value chain. Until there is a truly digitally transformed company is end-to-end value chain driven company, where we cannot say that if someone has adopted social media is digitally transformed. Right from brand building to marketing to sales CRM to running operations to finance and HR systems and whatnot. Everything is digitally transformed then. Because if you pick one piece and you augment that, what happens? Nothing. Because your bottleneck is still there in the system, and that bottleneck will decide the constraint and the growth. So either you do it one by one. Now, fundamentally we see that every MSME is at least one step digitally transformed, because they use either Tally or Zoho Books or some other accounting system. So at least there is some penetration. But my question comes in when a product company comes to us and say, Amit, we want to promote our product to MSMEs, and I say, what is your product? They say, payroll system. I say, you come last. Because they just started with accounting system, they will first like to grow, so possibly marketing, or before the marketing they want to attack on the sales side or maybe operation side, and then comes the marketing, and then comes the entire streamlining, and then tab HR ka number aata hai. So the sequence, what should be the roadmap, what should be the sequence, which kind of industry, which kind of company can adopt what kind of framework, that is to be caused to MSMEs, and then only we can say it can be digitally transformed. So theoretical answer, yes, but there are lots of ifs and buts in between.
I know.
Thanks.
And I think it's the ifs and buts which hold back. So Batra, you've got years of experience. You've become a serial innovator, entrepreneur yourself, but before that you worked in the private sector with multinationals. What are the challenges, I mean, the ifs and buts for a small business to really say, okay, I'm going to take this leap of faith?
So, before, actually answering your question in terms of what exactly are the challenges for MSMEs, let me just go back and talk about, how have we evolved as maybe a seller or a service provider? How have we evolved as a customer? One thing has happened. We today do not have time. We want everything now. And it's thanks to this digital transformation that has made the world a global stage. So imagine a seller from Kashmir who used to sell Pashmina shawls. He used to travel all the way from north, down south, carrying out a bag full of shawls and offering it to the customers. Today, we have the ability to be able to pick and choose, map, even try it on. And that is a change that has happened. But unfortunately, many of the MSMEs across the world, we today are still challenged. People today do not want to adopt digital transformation. Why? बहुत पैसा लगेगा, खर्चा लगेगा. मेरा IP है. It's my knowledge. It's the legacy systems that I have been working on. I have inherited them from my forefathers. All that will get passed on to others. Secondly, I'll have to get all the skilled staff that I had who have been working with me. I'll have to shunt all these guys out, and I'll have to bring in new people. And second, biggest thing is knowledge, which is blocking out the digital transformation. That is what I believe is the biggest challenge. Cost of technological, things that, I can bring in the entire spectrum of my business, whether it is product or a service or whatever. I'm fearful whether I'll be able to get people who will be able to help me change that, take that plunge. But one good thing is happening. Everyone today who's starting out a business fresh, I interact with various different students at IITs, BITS, Manipal Institute of Technology and others. All these younger generation students today, they are digital savvy. They want to adopt AI, ML, and the best possible practices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so I think Perfect. And, mindset awareness is, I think, common threads. I'm going to skip Siddharth. I'll come back to you. My question is to Mr. Bisht is that there are lots of entrepreneurs sitting here, right? So are you going to, what advice would you give them? Would you ask them to kind of build a brick and mortar sort of a model and then graduate to a digital transformation, or straight away skip that, piece and jump into a digitally enabled operating model?
Sure. So I think there's no straightforward answer to that. It all will depend like what kind of business model a particular entity is starting with. But as far as digital transformation is concerned, this is something like which is not a option anymore. It is a necessity, because without having a digital transformation, like the MSMEs, especially the businesses who are still continuing doing traditional way, maybe having lost opportunity kind of scenario. We have seen like COVID pandemic now. Many of the businesses which survived or grew during this epidemic also were those companies who had transformed themselves or who adapted to the changes relevant for their business at that point of time. So digital transformation is something which needs to be adapted when a new business is being set up or a running business is there with full conscious. It can be done step by step, as rightly said by one of the panel member. There are always confusions or the problems like how much money to be invested and all. But I think there are a lot of opportunity today. Various modules are available where tech-enabled models are available, which supports any size and scale of business to digitally transform. Now, from the MSME perspective, if you look at, there are two things mainly they struggle with, if I put it this way. One is how to scale their business, right? It will include the production capacity if it is a manufacturing because of the limited resources, scale of economic at a later stage, competition, limited marketing cost available for reaching out to the customers. And the second piece is to fuel the business, getting a right set of financing, which is fuel in any case for any size and scale of business. So these both things can be taken care of very well if entity is taking care of the digital transformation properly. Management or the leadership needs to be very well consciously driving it, because if it is not done efficiently, or if the one process transformation is not talking to other, it may result in inefficiency. So from the business growth side, a lot of initiatives are already taken. Even the government has given a lot of initiative that way. Private and government both adding together. Let's say you are in retail or service sector. There are cost efficient ways to reach out to the customers today and increase your business and revenue. So they have been Amazon, Flipkart, in any case there. GemSci is the initiative of the government. And now ONDC is a new one, which can be leveraged by SMEs also. And if we go on the financing side again, if the business or an entity is digitally transformed, it creates a lot of data points digitally, which are available and helps actually lenders to underwrite them better as compared to other entity who is doing it traditionally. Data points are not available for underwriting. So these all things again, in this segment also government has pushed a lot. I think GST and e-invoicing are the initiatives which are creating a very thick backbone for underwriting. So today new age underwriting modules are basis the bank statement analyzer or GST analysis, or now the e-invoicing is going to be there.
Yeah.
So
Ramesh, I understand, and you're taking the thunder away, because I do want to spend some time on government initiatives separately. Sure. But before that, I think sorry, you want to add?
I want to add something to this. What is the stage where you should adopt, especially for an MSME? If you have not reached the product market fit, try not to get into the digital. And even if you are trying to adopt some digital, tools, try to take the freemium or free tools, because you should be more busy in solving the product market fit and the core business model rather than getting into a digital trap. Once you achieve that, after that you need to scale. Then there is no other choice. You have to, or you should, or rather you must adopt that. But if you are a existing business which is expanding, or you are a family business which is transforming, then from day one, the digital transformation practices should be adopted. There is no choice in that.
So I just, Food Cloud, Vedant, I mean, you have a very different kind of stakeholder base, and, how do you really instill confidence in them adopting, digital tools, etc.?
So, absolutely. I think it's very important to understand the kind of audience we are talking about. These are women who are probably going to do business for the first time in their lives, or even be professionally engaged for the first time in their lives. So they have a different mindset, they have a different thought process that they come from. To get them to adopt or get them to have confidence on something that's alien to them takes time. Obviously, government initiatives here like, Aadhaar, PAN card linking and things like that have helped, where in their day-to-day life, digitization has already creeped in. So it has become much easier over our journey of Food Cloud. So today, WhatsApp is something that everyone uses. And I think a lot of businesses don't need much more than that in terms of digitization, okay? So when we talk about digital transformation, we're talking about micro, not even SME or MSME for that matter, right? And we're talking about ultra micro entrepreneurs where they're just starting out with limited resources, and you start talking to them about something which is going to drain X amount every month, even if it's a SaaS platform, and not even the bigger guys like SAP, which has a huge cost of implementation. But even something small, and I love what he was saying about free or freemium tools, and WhatsApp being the biggest example, or UPI being the biggest example now, which is something that, or Paytm karna hai, ya any other sort of Google Pay karna hai, which is something which has become basic in everybody's lives. So even those things, when implemented well in your business, can give you a huge fillip or a huge growth curve when it comes to digital transformation. And this is the journey we are taking with our micro entrepreneurs, where we are teaching them basic, simple tools which are free, which can actually digitally transform their business and take it to the next level.
Thanks. So, and I think going back to the point that Ramesh talked about on digital public infrastructure, Akshay, how do you see things like ONDC, GEM, TREADS, Open, UPI, how do you really see that encourages a small business to take that leap of faith?
Yeah, I think all of these that are like digital public goods or public platforms that are digitally transforming different sectors. For example, you mentioned GEM. GEM is definitely a big, probably the largest B2B commerce portal in India by value, barring M Junction maybe, because they do a lot of high value tenders. But GEM's procurement has literally reached 2 lakh crore last year. And that means that a significant portion of the government buying is actually happening through the platform. I'm guessing it might be close to 20%. But and they have around 60 lakh MSMEs enrolled on there. They've also done stuff like link the Udyam Aadhaar website for MSMEs in such a manner that if you register for the Udyam certificate, you got an option then to literally onboard yourself to the GEM platform as well. They're making it easier for MSMEs to leverage these digital public goods that they've developed. GEM is one such use case. You mentioned UPI, you mentioned Open. Open, I think, frankly, it's a platform that will totally address the gap that we've got in our credit for the supply chain. I think estimates are that we nearly have a $380 billion gap, which is roughly around 10% of the economy, GDP. So to plug that gap, we really need this open network that can actually help different stakeholders in the entire, journey of in the lending market to be able to size up the enterprise, MSMEs, do the underwriting process, and then different stakeholders can take risks as per their own, policies. And that will also enable a huge or a wider net being cast out there against to bring MSMEs into this net of this inclusive, finance, which so far they've been only able to access inorganically or, the offline channels of finance where, the lenders they usually give exorbitant rates.
Yeah, yeah.
So I do believe that these platforms do add a lot of value
Yeah.
to MSMEs.
No, great. So, I think some of the gem numbers are understated and they're much more, but not leaving, I think the point is clear. So then a tough one for you. Government is doing a hell of a lot with all these, mobilizing this, network of digital infrastructure. And most of them are aimed for the small guy, right? They're mostly aimed to kind of help, actually, yes, in implementation you can argue sometimes there's it takes a little while longer. But what more can, and not just government, but I think the community, the stakeholders, what more do you think needs to be done to be really getting some of these entrepreneurs accelerate their pace of growth, pace of adoption, pace of access to market?
So the only one pointer to that is awareness. So if you ask me from my experience, we do have various platforms and various dashboards to create models or digital transformation strategies for any MSME or any setup out there. But I am pretty sure that 50% of the audience would not even know that there is a group by the name of Z. And Z provides certain financial support to new MSMEs. So this is something which is not out there through awarenesses. There is a data of various MSMEs being registered. There are groups that are into B2B setups. There are groups that are into B2C setups. The database generated through various policies the government has in place, we as an individual do not have a secure access to that. And that plays a very vital role in how we model ourselves. Since morning I have been listening, we have been only talking about B2C based strategies. We are forgetting what happens to the in-house, in-core models of the system. So digital transformation, as they rightly pointed, is not only focused on payments or books, it is also how we do our own in-house analysis. Coming from a ClearMeet R&D background, we are a food tech company, but for us, digital transformation is mandatory. It is a process which is pretty tough, but it is mandatory. That helps us fast track the whole process of analysis and bring out the right solution for the industry.
No, I think well said.
I would like to come in here, if that's okay. I personally feel we were talking about the government initiatives and the lack of knowledge. And that is spread so wide across. I know there are 20 things that I could use for my company and 200 things that I could offer to my micro entrepreneurs. But we are actually just suffering from lack of knowledge or lack of help or mentorship. And with us, we have been actually part of the ecosystem quite heavily, right? We were one of the National Startup Award winners. So we actually had an IAS ranked person literally on WhatsApp with us and so easy access. And we still were not able to probably utilize all the things which was being offered to us by the government. So there has to be a better way to be able to bridge this gap between what are the incentives or what are the platforms available and the entrepreneurs. I think that's a must-do initiative that the government or the bodies need to take to be able to have this hand-holding process, because it feels intimidating. Even an ONDC integration or a GEM marketplace, you are listed but you're not getting any business. You hear these big numbers where there's like 2 lakh crores of business happening and you're not even getting 20%. Of your own revenue from GEM, right, or 10% or 2%. So you feel a little left out, if I may say so. And other than that, I think probably the government needs like a Hum Do Hamare Do type campaign for all these financial things which are available rather than just social initiatives, because economy is a big part of the social fabric today.
And I do believe that I think you've got to dip into it, but you can only do that when you are aware of it, right? And it is intimidating when you are you're struggling with so many other real problems. So I think any parting comments, because I know the timer is going to hit the buzzer now. So,
If I may say, anybody who's not digitally inclined or who's not adopting out the digital transformations, that business is going to be wiped out. Because the customer today is asking for a product or a service which he is asking today, now. And with these new age businesses where the entire businesses themselves have gone global, that is must. Digital transformation is a must. And for SMEs to be successful, I think what we need to do is we need to handhold them. We need to have more forums like this where we can impart out and share out our knowledge and tell them that these are the kind of initiatives that you can bring into your system and become successful, become worthy moving forward.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll say that it should be a gradual process. So first become digitally able by learning, then become digitally, make yourself digitally enable by adopting the initial steps, and then think about the digital transformation by applying this across the value chain. So able, enable, and then transformation.
Thank you very much. I'm sure you will have questions, but catch these gentlemen outside for lunch. And thank you. Thanks once again.